So I wanted to open up with this question, and I was trying to figure out a way to phrase this correctly, but I know that if I do the way I was going to do it, it's not going to work. How many of you have fur babies? Yeah. And now wait, I'm not talking about pet owners. There's a difference between people who are pet owners and people who have fur babies, right? There is a difference. And yeah, there are always a few, right? I love animals. I really do. I love animals. But there are some people who really, really love animals. And I appreciate people who really love animals. I guess it's just that I never really got it. And I know plenty of people in my family who have. My aunt, for instance, has fur babies. She's always like doing conversations between her pets and herself. Except she uses different voices. Like she has her voice, and then her pets have like this really childlike voice. Yeah. This is my aunt. And then she's always like, oh, they're like my babies, they're like my children, they're just like their children, I'm their mama. Yeah, but she's serious about it. Like I know a lot of pet owners do that, but my aunt is serious. She takes this stuff seriously. And my sister kind of does the same thing, and I guess part of it is because they just don't have any children, so they don't get it. I don't understand. I love animals, but I don't understand that kind of connection. And I think part of it probably could be that I'm one of those guys that Peter was talking about earlier that's allergic to everything with fur. So I've never been able to have a lot of close connections with animals. But I have learned, I don't know if I completely understand the fur baby thing, but I understand it maybe a little bit better than I once did, because I learned things. It's appropriate, I guess. I'm a teacher. I appreciate learning. Interestingly enough, one of the ways that I learned this that was important relatively recently was last summer on our little family vacation out to California on Route 66. Those of you that know me well, I don't know if there are that many people that know me really well here today. I don't know everyone that's in attendance, but Route 66 has always been really important to me. I'm an America nostalgia geek. I've made the trip twice now. And most people, when they think about Route 66, they think about, diners, 1950s culture, Grapes of Wrath, that kind of stuff. Not necessarily animals, but animals do play a role on Route 66, and that's kind of like where my story goes. Lots of different kinds of animals on 66. You have fake animals, right? I mean, you got in Oklahoma, in Catoosa, there's this blue whale, this big, gigantic blue whale in the middle of a watering hole that kids can go out and play on. That's fun. Our daughter had a blast on that this summer. Lots of fake dinosaurs. Like once you get out west, there's all kinds of like fake dinosaurs. The Wild West says something about fake dinosaurs. I don't know, but there's lots of them. So you have that. And then you have real animals. Lots of real animals along 66. And for whatever reason, like you get more of it out west. Roadside zoos used to be a big deal. We went to an abandoned roadside zoo. Had like the cage, I don't know the right word, but where they used to hold like mountain lions. We were probably a little surprised that there weren't like some mountain lions that were out there going to grab us anyway, even though it had been abandoned for years, just because that's who we are. But we went out there, we were looking at that had been gone. But there's still plenty of animals out there. Texas, big bugs, it's like, you're driving down the road in Texas. If you haven't been out west where there's bugs, like, you can hear this go thunk, like it's hail. It's like thunking on the car. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, never mind, it's just the bugs. And then you like get out of the car to get gas, and there's like splatter all over the front of the car. It's really gross. Anyway, so you have those animals, right? But then, there's still little tourist traps out there where you encounter some animals. And part of this goes back to the fake dinosaur thing. We got to Arizona. This is the first encounter. It kind of leads up to where I'm going. We get out just past the Arizona border, and we have like one of those signs along the old road that says, come see dinosaurs. Like, okay, cool. Because Stella, our daughter, loves dinosaurs. But then they have like this other thing down here. It says, feed the ostrich. We're feeding the ostrich. We don't care. Like, this is great. We're feeding the ostrich. Of course, we have to pull off the road and go about a mile into some really shady territory because there's no one else out there. It's like horror movie kind of stuff. Anyway, we get out there and it's still really shady out there. We have an interesting talk with the shop owner who sells this dinosaur fossils. We have to buy them because they're trilobites. This is who we are. We have to buy trilobites. And they also managed to sell like a little dinosaur to Stella because she's like, ooh, I want that. Okay, you have to have that. But then we have to get our cup of ostrich food. And anyway, so we go out there, and it's like they have like this little pen right there where these ostriches are. I didn't know how big they were, by the way. They're big. I had never seen them. Anyway, so we get out there, and they give you the cup of food for the ostrich, but they don't tell you how to feed it. So we're like, what do we do? Because we got a little hole down here, but that didn't look right because it's like way low to the ground, and they're way up here. Anyway, so most of them are like off in the distance anyway. It's like they're not really paying attention to us. But there's one that starts coming over, and he's interested in this already. He's just kind of like peeking over the fence, which is up here. So we're like, well, what do we do? So I have the bright idea, like I'm going to hold this cup up here. And because the thing is just going to be real gentle, like, right? It's going to come down here and it's going to eat this food in this cup. It's a good thing that ostrich had really good aim. Because, the cup's only this big. Otherwise, it probably would have taken a chunk of my arm off. Because this thing just comes right straight down, like really fast, and grabs the cup like right out of my hand and takes it in the pen, right? So then it's like the cup falls on the ground, and the thing is just like eating the food, right? It eats all the food. The other ostriches are starting to pay attention, so they start coming around. But this thing has this food, and then the stupid thing, I swear to God, picks up this cup. And like goes around, and it's got it in its hand, and it goes like around in its mouth, and it goes around to like all of the other ostriches, and it's like taunting and strutting around like it's got the food. And I'm like, I haven't seen this kind of behavior since I was a kid. Like when you get like one kid is like a little kid has got like the cool toy, and no one else does. Like, ha ha, I got this. You don't. Sorry about your luck, kind of thing. So I'm like, well, that's funny. And I told Amanda about it, and then she's like, that's kind of childish. I'm like, okay. We're getting to the lesson, see? All right, so anyway, we go further out west Arizona, and this was actually kind of predictable. There's a town just west of Kingman called Oatman, and it's an old mining town that was a ghost town, but the tourism industry kind of revived it. Anyway, when the miners came out there, they brought their burros with them. And when the miners left, the burros kind of stayed behind, but through generations, the burros got used to humans. So they just come into town still to this day expecting food, and the tourists kind of like keep that whole thing going. So anyway, I was telling, because like I said, I had been out there before, and I was telling Amanda and Stella, like, man, these burros will come right up to you. They'll eat the food that you have for them. It's great. So everyone's really excited about feeding the burros. Stella is, but Amanda is too. And the excitement is real. I have a photo on my phone for anyone that doesn't believe me. We're an excited bunch to feed these burros, right? So before we get there, we do a little souvenir shopping. We buy our standard cups, from Oatman, or like ornaments, things like that. So we're getting there, and we go up to where the place where you buy the burro food, which is, I think it's like little alfalfa squares or something like that. And there's a sign right there, and it says, how to feed the burros and all these kinds of things. And it gets to the bottom, it's like, please remember, don't mistreat our burros. They're like our children. Okay, like, oh boy, here we go again. But it makes sense, right? I mean, that's what the town is known for really these days. Like these burros that are really friendly, they come into town. Anyway, so we buy the alfalfa squares, and we're getting ready to feed them, and everyone's really excited. I'm kind of excited. I'm just like in the background, like taking pictures and stuff like that, because I don't know if I really trust them that much, even if they are friendly. But Amanda and Stella, they're not afraid. They're like right in there, like got the little alfalfa squares in their hand. And sure enough, these burros, and there are only a couple of them at the beginning, they start eating the alfalfa, and then they figure out, because these burros are smart, and they go around and they figure out who's got food. I don't know if it's just the sound or the smell or what, but they start congregating. And they slowly start congregating more and more as this food starts disappearing. And we're talking about the birds earlier. And I swear to God, this was like the slow motion version of the birds. They start coming, and soon they're like surrounding us. And then the real bad thing happens, and we're out of food. And they don't leave, like, because Amanda's like going into mom mode here, and she's starting to tell him, listen, that voice that she does when she's, it's kind of cute, but also like trying to be like stern. Listen, we don't have any more food. You need to listen to me, and you need to go away. We're out. You need to go. And they don't go. In fact, it's just like, you got kids and you got a bag of chips, and then like you tell them they can't have any, but they think that there's more alfalfa in our souvenir bags. So they start biting at the bags, and pretty soon like the glasses fall out and they start breaking, and they're just like on the attack, looking for alfalfa. And Stella's like, what are they doing, Daddy? I don't know, and I don't know what to do either. I don't know how to handle burros, So all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because Amanda had just like taken her hand and just like wiped her pant leg or something like that after she had alfalfa in it. But she bent over and she's trying to pick up souvenirs, and one of these burros got behind her and used his mouth and grabbed hold of her pants. And I'm like, honey, I don't know how to better phrase this, but that burro's biting your butt right now. And she like stands up really fast, all the care's gone, and she just turns around to the burros and she goes in like mean mom mode real fast. She's like, you listen to me right now. Why don't you listen? We don't have any more food. Go away. Listen to me. What are you, like a bunch of toddlers? And it hit me. These stupid things really are like kids. And I part of me started to understand, like, wow, animals really kind of are like our children. It made sense, like all kinds of levels it never did before. So that was kind of funny, and it gave me a better appreciation for it. And I was trying to think of a way, because it's not really a great ending to the story, and because I cared about endings, I'm a creative writing guy. So I was trying to think of a way to really close this. And then it came to me earlier this week when our daughter had asked for applesauce out of the fridge. So I got her a little dish of applesauce with a spoon. And because I didn't neglect her, I got her the spoon. And she gets over to the table, and all of a sudden, I'm not watching her for a second, and then I look down, and she's like licking the applesauce out of the bowl. And I'm like, Stella, what are you doing, honey? I got you a spoon. And she's like, look, Daddy, I'm a dog. So I guess if there's a moral to the story, it's not, animals just aren't like our children, and in some cases it can be reversed, and children can be like animals too. They just have an interesting relationship, I guess. All right, thank you.